of work. Some of these goals are not huge. Some of these goals are literally, in total, 2 or 3 hours work. So sometimes the things I need to do every week is just maybe like write up a plan for how the work's going to be done, or decide who to delegate it to, or something like that. Often you'll find these are the tasks that you find hardest to do. So I'm going to be completely upfront. I'm going to tell you everything that we've put down on the 10 tasks, which is going to get us to New York. Okay. Now, bearing in mind, this was after the initial setting the vision. So setting the vision and setting the goal should be like ground zero if you're doing 10 tasks. That should be like zero. Decide what it is you want, decide exactly your timescale you're going to achieve it in, and decide how you're going to go after it, and write your list. So it's basically, instead of write a to-do list at the top of your to-do list, you kind of assume that's already been done. Okay, so number one, the most important thing, the first of 10 most important things for us to get to New York is to raise investment for the projects that we're doing. Now, we have a variety of ways that we can raise investment. We're doing development projects in New York, so we are sourcing a potential site and we're looking to develop it into a model which we want to bring to market. And it's a very particular model, so it's got to be a very particular site. And especially with New York, that means it's got to be in a particular area, it's got to be at a particular price point, all these other things which have got to come into factor. So the investment to do that can be property specific, as in, we've found this site, this is how much it's going to take to buy, this is how much it's going to take to develop, and this is where your exit strategy is. That's a high risk investment, so the rewards are greater, but also in a weird way, it's a better investment for the investor because they also are invested in something tangible. So there's an investment in a plot of land, and if you buy a plot of land in New York for a certain price this year, and even if all the shit hits the fan and you don't do anything with it for 3 years, it's still going to be worth more than what you paid for it, usually like 99 times out of 100. So because the investors invest in that particular part of land, they still get that increase. So it's not as risky really, but the reason it's risky is because development finance is usually only taken for a short period of time. And you're taking it to develop a site and you're giving them a high return because you wouldn't have got it elsewhere. And then you can go to more traditional lendings like construction finance and everything like that. And if I'm learning about this as I go, well, no, it's not true. I have a very good knowledge of it prior, but I'm learning about how it applies in the New York market at the moment. So if there's anything there I've said which doesn't make sense, just put a comment below and I'll clarify it for you. But we're also raising investment as a company. And the reason that we're raising investment as a company just now is for growth funding. And we want to do that because we want to go into all these new locations with a full team, a full support network, some money in the bank. I started this company with £200 and I've bootstrapped it for 2 years. We took investment last year to go into London, which the investment is in those properties. And we took investment at the start of this year, again, to expand into properties, because what we do is we take on the rent, we take on the deposit, and we take on all the expenses to do with it. We're looking at the moment for investment in our company in order to enable us to set up a proper franchise model, which means that you can have an Amy executive location in any country in the world, and somebody can buy the rights to use it. They will come complete with a full operations manual, a franchise document, everything like that. And that will allow us to go into these countries quicker. What it'll also allow us to do is to increase our foothold in London by ways of an office, some staff, and to get into New York, so that as LWG is developing this project, Amy can have a presence there as well. So we're looking for a certain amount of each investment. So that's a huge priority and something that I'm working on every single week. Number 2, an operations manual for the brand. An operations manual which somebody can pick up and say, I want to start an Amy in, whatever, Washington DC, Toronto, wherever it might be. And we can say, okay, here you go. You bring us the knowledge about your state, your city, your whatever. We give you the knowledge about Amy. And it works like that in a partnership and a franchise agreement. There's so many other things needed for this process, like partnership agreements, training documents, brand guidelines, everything like that. I want to get all of those completed before we get to New York, so that we're literally ready to expand. And that's a lot my job, but it's also some work for the team in Glasgow, because they're living it and breathing it at the moment. So I want their input on whatever we decide is best practice, because I think it's easy for a manager who's not worked in the office for more than 6 months to decide, oh well, this is best practice, but that might not be practical. Likewise, we need to make sure that the operations manual is flexible enough to deal with all different locations. Number 3, financial systems and processes defined, and the business, the company setup split into different financial institutions. This is to allow for growth much faster. This is to allow for a franchise model. So we have the parent company here and all the subsidiary companies for each location underneath. And it allows much more autonomy for the business owner in each location, but also much more safety for the parent company should something go wrong. So we want all that sorted by the time we go to New York. Business plan. I'm not a big advocate of business plans, okay? I genuinely, the only business plan I've ever wrote in my life, I was forced to do because I was applying for a bank loan and I never got the bank loan. So it's like, what the hell was the point in doing that? But when you say you're starting a company, everybody goes, oh, well, you need a business plan. I mean, let's distinguish, okay? Yes, you need a plan. You need to know what you're going to sell. You need to know how you're going to sell it, where you're going to sell it, blah, blah, blah. Do you need to look 5 years ahead? Maybe not, because your market might be obsolete in 5 years. Your product might be obsolete in 5 years. Why don't you just focus on how you're going to get it to market? If there's a need for it just now, what potential there is for, God, I forgot the word, where you kind of change what it is you do. So, you know, we've done it a couple of times. For example, we started off as a lettings agency, and then we developed into the niche of corporate rentals, and then we developed into the niche of relocation. So you're readily, you can change easily and you can adapt. You're adaptable to what happens with the market. But don't set your business plan in stone for 5 years. But the reason we want to do a business plan for these companies is because we're asking people to invest in them. And because we're saying to people, this is what our plan is, this is where we want to be. Yes, it's flexible. Yes, it will adapt to the market. Yes, it will do this, it will do that. But generally, this is where we want to be. Number 5. I want to get everything personally sorted for the move. So when I came out to Kuwait, there was still just a couple of daft things, right? I have this car in Glasgow, which I've still not managed to get scrapped, and it's driving me nuts. It's parked in my friend's driveway, and I need to get rid of it. Silly things like that. I have not took back 2 library books that I've had for 6 months. Silly things. I want to get all those sorted, because you don't actually understand the weight that stuff like that has in your mind. You know how when you're walking through the shops or you're busy with something else and you go, oh my god, I totally forgot that, I need to do it. See that reminder? That's draining on your brain. That's something else that you need to think about. It's something to add to the to-do list. And when your to-do list is already like this, something else on top can be the clincher between you getting nothing done and you actually having quite a productive day. So get rid of all that crap. I read a really interesting tip one time, and it said make up a snagging list for your life. So everything that annoys you on a daily basis, write it down and resolve to deal with it. Even if it's a case of, it really annoys me that the kitchen roll dispenser's like too far away from the tea point, write it down in a list and move it, because you don't need that 2 seconds of every day to have to focus on something negative. Believe me, it sounds so silly, but your brain space is got to be so focused that anything like that can detract you. So get everything personally sorted. Getting Kuwait sorted. We want to have 10 Kuwait clients. We're on the way to that at the moment, and we want to have our current properties in Kuwait filled, which again, we're on the way to at the moment. Healthy eating and detox. This is the one I always struggle with. I read a very interesting quote today. I got to be honest, I don't read a lot of Michelle Mon's stuff. I find some of her business tactics a bit trying to think of a good word to say so I don't have to re-record this vlog again. But yeah, I don't agree with all the ways that she runs a business. She's obviously successful though. But I read a quote that she said today where Rachel Hunter advised her to treat her body like a business, and that's when she lost something amazing like 8 stone. And I think that's really true. You've got to treat your body like a business, and when you're selling something, people want to buy that thing you're selling. So if what I'm selling is the life of my dreams, I should probably look like I do in that life. I mean, I'm nearly there, but not really. So yeah, it's being healthy eating, detox. It's dressing to your new situation that you're in. So I'm not going to be wearing these clothes when I'm in New York. I'm going to be trying to operate at a higher level. I'm going to wear a new outfit, you know, all these kind of daft things that come into play. But the biggest thing is you need energy, and energy doesn't come from sugar and it doesn't come from caffeine. I mean, it does temporarily, and then you feel as if you've been hit by a bus. I need to get them from other things. So I'm trying to now get natural energy, which was hard getting over the sugar and the caffeine, but now I feel as if I'm really on track for that. Healthy eating detox, that's a big one. A successful personal branding campaign. Now, me and my business partner Cassie have spoke about this at length, and we feel it's extremely important for us as founders of this business to also have our own personal identities. And this has always been something that I've been running alongside Amy Executive. Yes, I'm CEO and current only owner and founder of the Amy Executive brand, but we're now embarking on a new project, and if I don't define what it is that I am and who I am and what I'm doing, I run the risk of just getting lost as CEO of this and joint director of this and managing partner of this and everything like that. And that's not me. What I am is all the things that I bring to those partnerships. And that's what I want to get across. And my authentic self is somebody who kind of can't believe that they're now finally at a stage in their life where all these opportunities have presented themselves to them, and I want to be able to help other people achieve that. And as ridiculous as that sounds, and you probably think there's some ulterior motive, there's really not. I want other people to get up in the morning and know that what they are going to do for the rest of that day is the only thing in the world that they would want to do. And as soon as you can do that, you know, my work here is done. I think that's fantastic. So a successful personal branding campaign. This is going to consist of daily vlogs, weekly blogs, so like a kind of blog update on what I've been vlogging about and what we've been doing. Lots of website content and a big social media presence, so like daily Snapchat stories, all that kind of stuff. My new business venture setup. This is now set up and I can finally talk about it. That's been ticked off the list. So this is now called G1 Property Portfolio Partnership. And this is a new business with my very good friend and contractor David. And this business is going to be similar to LWG in some respects, but very different in other respects. There'll be plenty of time to talk about that in another vlog, but I wanted to get this all set up and running and in the road to making money before I left. And the 10th one and the very last one is coaching and personal development. I'm a big lover of coaching, and I think that having a mentor, having somebody regularly help you is huge to get into where you want to go. And that was why it's one of the 10 things that I'm going to need to do to get to where I want to be. And I've been working with a coach for the last 2 weeks. We've spoke twice, and we're going to speak for an hour every week up until the time where I reach this goal. She's aware of exactly what it is I'm going to do. I come away from it every week feeling as if I've got actual tangible takeaways from it that I can then go and work on. And I think just speaking it through with somebody who doesn't have anything to do with your business and who's not going to take offence at anything you say and who's not going to judge anything you say, that's a huge thing. And I would advise anybody who's going after a goal to get yourself a wee champion for along the way. Get somebody to cheer you on and somebody to pick you up when you're down. It makes all the difference in the world. So that's me. I don't know if that's the 10 most definitive goal guidelines that have ever been set. I don't know if I've missed something, right? But I think if I achieve all those 10 things, I know in fact that I'm going to be in New York come the 4th of June, 3rd to 4th of June, and I'm going to be ready to smash it for the next few months. So wish me luck. I will speak to you tomorrow, and this week I'm going to London for a few days as well to try and get number 6 sorted, which is getting the Kuwait business all set up. And basically what I'm doing in London is getting some of our documents signed and attested. So everything I'm doing just now is feeding into one of these goals, and that then makes it not just another annoying thing in the to-do list. It makes it a step and a milestone and a new achievement on the way to getting where I want to be. I have ran on so much tonight. I'm so sorry. Really hope you enjoy that. Thanks for staying till the end. I feel like I should send you like a prize or something. And I hope that's helped with your goal setting, and I'll speak to you tomorrow with some updates on how we're getting on. Okay, good night guys, happy Sunday, bye bye.